Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Inna alhamdulillahi nahmadu wa nusalli ala rasulil kareem. Amma ba'd. उर्दू में कहते हैं कि दिल थाम के बैठो अब हमारी बारी है. It means that now hold your heart. It's now my turn. So let me tell you, alhamdulillah, we have discussed so far that Isa alayhi salam did not die and he will come back, and those were the evidences from the Quran. And as I said, that now I'm going to speak to you inshallah from the sayings of the scholars, what they say about these verses which I've quoted to you from Surah Ali Imran, especially the verse 55 of Surah Ali Imran chapter 3 verse 55, and from Surah An-Nisa chapter 4 and the verses from 155, 156, 157, 158, 159. In that, you know the word mutawaffika, some of the scholars have quoted from Surah Zumar and Surah An'am that the raising high of the soul that is coming out of the body is of two types. One is a permanent death and one is a temporary death. But in both the ways, the soul comes out of the body dies, the person dies. And those who die permanently, Allah holds their, this is in Surah Zumar, chapter 39, where Allah says that He holds the soul of the person who is finished, he is dead. And the one who is, no, I'm a Dr. T, but these people are very stingy. They gave me only one cup of tea and they're not giving me. Inshallah. Three sugar.
MashaAllah.
Milk, yes, alhamdulillah.
MashaAllah.
Yeah, because I'm bitter. In my speech I'm bitter, so I want to be more sweet. Okay, so in Surah Zumar and Surah An'am, chapter 6 and chapter 39, Allah speaks about the soul coming out of the body, and one soul is, the time when the body leaves the soul, it is death. But when the soul is withheld by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that means a permanent death. And that is, we know that people is buried and then janazah is offered for him. The another death which Allah is referring is the temporary death, which also Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to say, Alhamdulillah alladhi ahyana ba'dama amatana wa ilayhi nushur. In this hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, also that Rasulullah used to wake up in the morning and he would say, all praise be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who has given us life after the death. Which means when you put to sleep, your soul is leaving your body and you die. But that is temporary death, because soul comes back to your life and you are alive again. So some of the scholars, as the brother wanted me to give this interpretation, I will inshallah quote you the references as well. Now I'm going to give you the sayings of the scholars who say that Prophet Isa did not die. So one of the evidence is Imam Shanqiti rahmatullah alayh in Adwa al-Bayan, is a big, mashallah, very classical tafsir of today's time. In his tafsir, he says this, that Isa alayhi salam, he didn't die permanent death, and even if Allah has taken him, so his soul is, will return back to him when he would have returned back to him when he has gone to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, the point that I want to make you understand that, first remember, there are people who say that Isa alayhi salam died, but they don't have any evidence to that. Only this ayah, mutawaffika. They bring this as a quotation that Quran says that Allah gave him death. But if we go to another opinion, then the other people, they say, no, he died, but died for few hours, and then Allah gave him the soul back to him, and then He raised him alive. So they also agree that he is raised alive. And the third opinion is, no, Allah did not give him death. Allah did not give him he wasn't raised while he was sleeping. He was raised with his body and his soul together while he was not asleep, and he didn't even die. What are those evidences? Inshallah, I'm going to give you that. Also you have to understand that all these scholars who have this issue about the life and the death of Isa alayhi salam, none of them deny his return. Okay, those people may agree with his, how he was raised or how he died, even for a few hours he died. All of them still agree that there are Sahih Ahadith. Pay attention to this. Because those people who say that these Ahadith are contradicting, okay, pay attention to this point. They say that these Ahadith are contradicting and these Ahadith are totally against the principle of Islam, of love, mercy and all that. So they say that this is all false. They are not to be relied, they cannot be taken as the, Ahadith, and these are all something that has to be, and they also say these are something which has to do with the Ahadith, that the single narrators or this and that, this cannot be taken. They also say it speaks about the killing, it speaks about this and it speaks about that, it speaks about Dajjal, and this coming of Dajjal is not clear. So all those points are the points of those people who do not actually agree with coming of Isa alayhi salam. Not these scholars who say that he was raised, they still agree that these ahadith are all sahih. And they also all agree that these ahadith are mutawatir. They say no, they are not mutawatir. And we can discuss, if they want to discuss with me from the sources, alhamdulillah. जैसे मैंने कहा था कि मुंह ना खुलाओ, हम पे जाहिर है तुम्हारा बातिन, मुंह ना खुलाओ कि मैं अब्दुल मजीद हूँ. Don't make me open my mouth. I know you're in and out. Otherwise I will expose you because my name is Abdul Majid. So let's see now what Imam Tabri is saying. This is one of the great tafsir of Quran, where Imam, his full name is Abu Ja'far Muhammad ibn Jarir al-Tabri. He says, Qala Abu Ja'far. I'll quote in Arabic so the people who are listening to me, they should not think that just I'm bluffing, from myself. Qala Abu Ja'far. وأولى هذه الأقوال بالصحة عندنا قول من قال معنى ذلك إني قابضك من الأرض ورافعك إلي لتواتر الأخبار عن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أنه قال ينزل عيسى ابن مريم فيقتل الدجال ثم يمكث في الأرض مدة ذكرها اختلفت الرواية في مبلغها ثم يموت فيصلي عليه المسلمون ويدفنونه. This is the saying of Imam al-Tabri. Look what he says. Imam al-Tabri, in the tafsir of this word mutawaffika, he says that amongst all the opinions, according to us, the sahih opinion, the most authentic and most acceptable opinion is that Allah is saying, Inni qabiduka min al-ard. I'm not giving you death. I'm holding you, means supporting you and raising you, وَرَافِعُكَ إِلَيَّ, and I'm raising you high to me. Why? لِتَوَاتُرِ الْأَخْبَارِ عَنْ رَسُولِ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وسلم. Why we say this? Because our akal cannot deny. If the pagal can deny, then let him deny. If the insane can deny. But he's saying because of the tawatur information, the mutawatir information that we have got from Rasulullah that he will come back. Yanzilu Isa ibn Maryam fayaqtulu ad-Dajjal. He will come back and then he will kill Dajjal. ثم يمكث في الأرض مدة ذكرها. Then he will stay on the face of the earth, that the time that is mentioned in the ahadith. And then also he says that it is the differences of the opinion of the people, how many years he will stay after killing Dajjal. ثم يموت, then he will die. Then he will die. Who says this? Imam Tabri, not Abdul Majid. So Imam Tabri in his tafsir If I say, you can say, come on Sheikh, you may be not understanding Arabic properly. But this is a great Imam of his tafsir. And he says that Isa alayhi salam will die, فَيُصَلِّ عَلَيْهِ الْمُسْلِمُونَ, then Muslims will pray Salatul Janaza for him. وَيَدْفِنُونَ, and they will also bury him. So Isa alayhi salam will die afterwards. And also Isa alayhi salam will be buried after the Janaza is offered. This is Imam Abu Ja'far al-Tabri. Imam al-Qurtubi. Imam al-Qurtubi, he is a Maliki Sheikh, Maliki Imam. His whole tafsir al-Qurtubi, I have in 20 volumes, mashallah. And in his tafsir, he supports most of the time Imam Malik's opinion. So Imam Qurtubi rahmatullah alayh, why I'm mentioning Imam Qurtubi as Maliki? Because some people are saying Imam Malik did not mention about Dajjal. Imam Malik did not mention about coming of Isa alayhi salam. So if he didn't mention, that does not mean the truth is false. Yes or no? So if suppose there is something in the other books of hadith which is not found in Muwatta Malik, that does not mean that we don't take those hadiths because Imam Malik did not mention it. Imam Malik is not our authority for Islam. That makes sense? Okay. So now Imam Qurtubi, in his tafsir of the verse 55 from the Surah 3, إِذْ قَالَ اللَّهُ يَا عِيسَى إِنِّي مُتَوَفِّيكَ وَرَافِعُكَ إِلَيَّ. In this tafsir he is saying, وَالصَّحِيحِ, look there, the text is there. وَالصَّحِيحِ أَنَّ اللَّهَ تَعَالَى رَفَعَهُ إِلَى السَّمَاءِ مِنْ غَيْرِ وَفَاتٍ وَلَا نَوْمٍ. Allah has raised him to him without death. He has raised him to the heavens without the wafat, जो हम लोग उर्दू में बोलते हैं wafat, without the wafat, wala naum, and not even in the sleeping status. That means he was raised alive and not in the status of sleep. And then now Imam Qurtubi quotes whose opinion? كما قال الحسن البصري رحمة الله عليه وابن زيد وهو اختيار الطبري. He refers to Imam Tabri as well. He confirms about Imam Tabri. وهو الصحيح عن ابن عباس. Even Ibn Abbas has got different opinions and different narrations where he says he died. But look what Imam Qurtubi is saying, that even those the authentic narrations came through Ibn Abbas, is also confirmed that he didn't die. وقاله الضحاك, and Dhahak also said the same thing. Now look what Imam Ibn Kathir is saying, rahmatullah alayh. And by the way, alhamdulillah, people who are watching me on Facebook, if you want to check from my library, I can show you from the library, inshallah. Then I'm not copying from Google, Sheikh Google. I have a library myself, alhamdulillah. Imam Qurtubi, Imam Ibn Kathir, rahmatullah alayh, in his tafsir, he is saying, وقال مطر الوراق متوفيك من الدنيا وليس بوفاة موت. That the meaning of this ayah is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that I will raise you high and I will give you wafat, but not the wafat of the maut. And then he says وكذا قال ابن جرير توفيه هو رفعه. Means tawaffi ka matlab hai ki uthana. Same thing. As if it means that mutawaffi and raising are the two same meanings. They are not different. So this is again Imam Ibn Kathir is saying. Now Imam Baghawi rahmatullah alayh, his full name is Al-Husayn Ibn Mas'ud Al-Baghawi. He says, وَقِيلَ لِلْحُسَيْنِ الْفَضْل Ibn Fadl هل تجد نزول عيسى في القرآن. Now pay attention. Wallahi, this question is very serious, but I didn't bring this for my evidence because this is again one of the opinions. But those evidence which I told you, you can, without going into exaggeration, you can confirm that those points are not something which is out of argument. It's based on the argument. Look, Imam Baghawi rahmatullah alayh quotes from that وَقِيلَ لِلْحُسَيْنِ ibn al-Fadl. Ibn al-Husayn was asked, هل تجد نزول عيسى في القرآن? do you find any evidence of Isa alayhi salam coming back in the Quran? What he says? قال نعم. قال نعم. Yes. Isa alayhi salam आएंगे, उनका जिक्र कुरान में. Yes, it is mentioned in the Quran that he will come back. What is the dalil? وَكَهْلًا. If you see the story where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about the birth of Isa alayhi salam, that he will speak in the cradle and he will speak وَكَهْلًا, when he will be a matured man. And ask the Christians, according to their historical records, Isa alayhi salam died at the age of 33. Close evidence to that? Yes. And according to the Arabic translation, according to the Arabic definition, a person cannot be at the stage of kahlan at the age of 33. It cannot be. So if we assume, according to the Christians, he died at the age of 33, still he has to come back because Quran says kahlan, and kahlan has to be proven only after he crosses 33. So that also proves that he has to come back to complete more than his 33 years of his life. Make sense? Okay, alhamdulillah. Chalo samjha, then to bolenge yaar English samajh mein nahi aati. Then he says, وَلَمْ يَكْتَهِلْ فِي الدُّنْيَا وَإِنَّمَا مَعْنَاهُ وَكَهْلًا بَعْدَ نُزُولِهِ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ. He says that he is in the period of his maturity. The word kahlan and the age of a person to become kahlan, it has to be only completed when he will come back from the heaven. Who says this? Now this is quoted by Imam Baghawi rahmatullah alayh in his tafsir of Baghawi, and it is quoted by answer given by Al-Hussein ibn al-Fadl. Who is he? Inshallah, if you want the details of that, I can bring it to you. Imam Razi's tafsir is well-known tafsir. It is translated in Urdu, translated in English, it is translated in different languages. And Imam Razi rahmatullah alayh is quoting from Ibn Atiyah. Ibn Atiyah rahmatullah alayh, what he's saying now? Pay attention to this. It's not Abdul Majid who is saying. It's not any Lalu Panju or anybody who is from today's century talking about this. Imam al-Razi rahmatullah alayh is saying, وَأَجْمَعَتِ الْأُمَّةُ عَلَى تَضَمَّنُهُ الْحَدِيثُ الْمُتَوَاتِرُ. That it is a consensus, ijma' of the ummah. Consensus of the ummah that the ahadith which speak about Isa alayhi salam, they are all mutawatir. The information of Isa alayhi salam is mutawatir. And Isa fi samai hayyun. And all those narrations which say about the mutawatir hadith about Isa, it confirms that Isa is alive in the heaven. He is alive in the bolo na yaar, heaven. He is alive there. And नहीं बोलेंगे तो फिर मैं समझूंगा मैं चाय पीता रहूंगा, आप लोग चले जाएंगे. Yeah, they are not responding. If they don't respond, then I just have a cup of tea and go. Finish. Bismillah. أن عيسى في السماء حي وأنه ينزل في آخر الزمان فيقتل الخنزير ويكسر الصليب ويقتل الدجال ويفيض العدل وتظهر به الملة ملة محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم ويحج البيت ويعتمر ويبقى في الأرض 24 سنة أو قيل 40 سنة انتهى. He is saying that those narrations which confirm that Isa alayhi is alive in the heaven, and then he will come back to this earth before the end of time, and he will kill the swine, and he will break the cross, and then he will kill the Dajjal, and then he will spread the justice all over the world, and then he will follow and promote the millat of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he will perform Hajj, and he will perform Umrah, and then he will stay on the face of the earth for another 40 years. Who says that better? Imam, not Abdul Majid. Take it? Imam Razi is quoting this. This quotation, sorry, it is from Athir ad-Din Abdullah Muhammad ibn Yusuf Andalusi, and then Imam Razi's quotation is the coming following, because this is the computer is making a problem with me now. Shaitan aa gaya iske andar. Imam Razi is saying, Al-Wajhu Rabi'. He quoted so many issues, so many opinions. And then after that he says, في تأويل الآية أن الواو في قوله متوفيك ورافعك إليه تفيد الترتيب. فالآية تدل على أنه تعالى يفعل به هذه الأفعال. فأما كيف يفعل ومتى يفعل فالأمر فيه موقوف على الدليل. وقد, this is my point. Imam Razi is saying, this is my point for you to understand. وقد ثبت الدليل أنه حي وورد الخبر عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أنه سينزل ويقتل الدجال ثم إنه تعالى يتوفاه بعد ذلك. Imam Razi is saying that in this ayah it is left to Allah. How he raised somebody, how he gives him that, when he gives the death, it is all left to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But somebody claims something like that this is what exactly happened, it needs dalil, it needs proof. But he's saying it is certainly proven from the ahadith that he is alive. He's saying, Imam Razi is saying that this is certain. What you are talking about this and that, if you don't have proof, then there is no foundation to that. But it is, the proof is available when we talk about his life, that he is alive, and also the proof is given that he will be coming back again to this earth and he will kill Dajjal, and after that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give him the death. So all the scholars who do not exactly say how he raised, how he died, still they agree that the ahadith which are mentioned, they are all authentic and mutawatir ahadith. And also he says, wal wajhu sadis, then after wajhu for khamis, and then he says, al wajhu sadis, anna tawaffiya akhdhu shay'i wafiyan. ولما علم الله أن من الناس من يخطر بباله أن الذي رفعه الله هو روحه لا جسده ذكر هذا الكلام ليدل على أنه عليه الصلاة والسلام رفع بتمامه إلى السماء بروحه وجسده ويدل على صحة هذا التأويل قوله تعالى وما يضرونك من شيء. This is from Surah An-Nisa. The bottom line of this ayah, this point is that some people are trying to prove that he was given the death and then he was raised. So they say that he was raised with his ruh and body. We have no objection to that. Because if somebody never dies, then the ruh will not come out. And even if the ruh comes out when somebody is sleeping, we all die. And in the morning we are again awakened. Okay? Because our ruh is back to us. So Isa alayhi is still awake because the ruh is back to him. And he was raised with ruh and body. So this is the argument of the scholars which I wanted to bring to you now. I will speak from the hadith. If you want me to continue, I can do that, but there is one more point which I want to explain from the hadith, that Isa alayhi will come. If you are not feeling hungry, please, because this is the main part of the subject, because many people, they do not agree with coming of Isa alayhi. Now the first point, they ask us, why is he coming? Why is he coming? They reject it because they say that he will, the ahadith speak about that he will come as a warrior. So we don't accept it because Isa is not a warrior. And I did speak to the Christian brothers here, and they have quoted to me that there will be a time when the war is needed, Isa will fight. So it is from their own books available. And to say no, Isa cannot be a warrior because he's a messenger of peace and love, then my question to all of you, my brothers and sisters, who is Prophet Muhammad? What is the characteristic mention of Prophet Muhammad in the Quran?
He's a great warrior. He's also
وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. That indeed we have sent you as a mercy to the whole mankind. And didn't he fight 17 ghazwat? Didn't he fight? Forget about all the other things. Quran mentions Battle of Uhud, Battle of Badr, Battle of Hunayn, Ahzab. These are the 4 battles which are by name mentioned in the Quran. And who fought them? Rahmatul lil Alameen. Why? Did he fight the people in the street? No. The people who were trying to destroy Allah's deen and killing the believers who believed in Allah's deen. So he fought to defend them. For self-defense, yes? And it is a right for every believer in his religion. If somebody wants to kill him just because he believes in his religion and not yours, then that is not, he has the right to defend himself. Rasulullah fought all these battles, being a mercy to the whole mankind, does not make him bad, does it? He has a reason, he has a cause. So, the first point, that Isa alayhi salam, why he would come, I'll explain to you. The second thing, Isa alayhi salam is mentioned in the hadith where Allah speaks about the Gog and Magog, where Allah speaks about the Dabbatul Ard, and when Allah speaks about the Dajjal. When Allah speaks about Gog and Magog in one hadith, and in the same hadith if Allah speaks about the return of Isa, the Prophet is saying that Isa will come. Is it permissible for you and me to pick and choose from that hadith? If I say, no, I can't take this hadith because Isa is mentioned in it, and the Dajjal is mentioned in it, but I can take the hadith in the hadith where the Gog and Magog is mentioned and the beast is mentioned. Can we do that with the hadith of Rasulullah? If the hadith says all 4, we have to take them as it is, regardless of whether it goes into our locha brain or not, malfunction brain or not. Yes. If the problem is our brain, not what the problem is in the hadith. Hadith says, now I'll bring you the hadith of Rasulullah. It is in Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, all the books of hadith, that one of the 10 signs of return of Isa alayhi salam is in that. The 10 signs, major signs, that Isa alayhi salam will come, and Dabbatul Ard will come, and Gog and Magog will come. So if somebody denies coming of Isa, they have to deny Gog and Magog and the beast. You'll agree with me? Okay, so this is my case. If somebody doesn't want to take it, then that's fine. Second thing, Prophet Isa alayhi salam will come at the time of war. So, why at the time of war? Who says this? Look, I'm not going to read the Arabic. I'm going to read to you the English because it is too long. Abu Hurairah narrates this. He says, the last hour would not come. Pay attention, this is a very serious hadith. And this hadith is only rejected by those people who are mentally insane. Believe me. Because it doesn't go into the heads. And I gave you the proof that if Isa alayhi is coming as a warrior, that does not put down his personality, does not criticize his personality, because if Isa alayhi is criticized because he's going to kill the fighters or swine or this and that, so he cannot be like that, then we have to also question the battles that fought by Rasulullah as well. Yes or no? Yes. But if the moment we question Rasulullah, our iman is gone. And Prophet Isa is also our prophet. So we can't just pick and choose for something that suits our desires. Look what hadith says. And also let me tell you this hadith, where it is found. You will be shocked. You will say, Shaykh, how can you bring all this hadith like that? See what the hadith says. The last hour would not come until the Romans would land at the place called Al-Amaq, or in the Dabiq, or Dabiq it is in Arabic, Dabiq, but the English translation is like that. Let me just I feel more comfortable reading from the Arabic text. لا تقوم الساعة حتى ينزل الروم بالعمى أو بالدبابق. मुझे भी करना बाद में. मैं उनसे ज़्यादा बड़ा हूँ. He's doing massage on him, so I said, okay, after finishing his massage, do massage on me because I'm much older than him. Alhamdulillah. Okay, now this one, it says, now pay attention, this is the hadith because it doesn't go into the heads, they say this hadith is already, happened. So we can't take this hadith to relate that Isa will come. This hadith says, the Romans will come and get ready and they will come with the army to fight Muslims and the Prophet is saying, فَيَخْرُجُ إِلَيْهِمْ جَيْشٌ مِنَ الْمَدِينَةِ مِنْ خِيَارِ أَهْلِ الْأَرْضِ يَوْمَئِذٍ. And then the Muslim army will come from Medina and they will stand here in front, and the Prophet is saying they will be the best army soldiers of that time. They will come. Did any army fight here at this time from Medina? No Islamic history can say कभी मदीना से फौजी निकले बाहर जंग करने के लिए? नहीं. No, not a single soldier ever fought from Medina to come out and fight with the Romans. There is no fight known in the history. Okay, now this is the word. It says that Medina, the people, the army, Muslim army will come from Medina. If it didn't happen in the past, then when will it happen? In the future. Yes, you understand my English. Indian guy, okay, fresh English. Alhamdulillah. Then he says, فَإِذَا تَصَافُوا قَالَتِ الرُّومُ خَلُّوا بَيْنَنَا وَبَيْنَ الَّذِينَ سَبَوْا مِنَّا نُقَاتِلْهُمْ فَيَقُولُ الْمُسْلِمُونَ لَا وَاللَّهِ لَا نُخَلِّ بَيْنَكُمْ وَبَيْنَ إِخْوَانِنَا فَيُقَاتِلُونَ Better put the English translation for them. So you can follow the English translation. فَيُقَاتِلُونَهُمْ فَيَنْهَزِمُ ثُلُثٌ. This is the whole hadith says what? That there will be. Which page? It is the written of the Prophet Isa from the hadith. Another subject. The last subject. Yeah. Go down. It doesn't read any Arabic text. Strange. Okay, so it says that there will be 3 wars that will be fought with the Romans of that time, like the people who coming from Constantinople at that time, because the Day of Judgment, before that, they say no, Constantinople has already been conquered, so it is not possible for them to conquer again. Okay, now when we talk about the Istanbul today, it was a place, previously it was owned by the Romans. Yes? Romans were ruling? Romans? Yes. And then afterwards the Ottoman Empire took over. Okay. Now they say that this cannot happen again. Means Rome cannot take the Constantinople again back from the Muslims. They say it's not possible. I'll give you the example. Who was ruling in India first? Before the Mughals, the Hindus. Then Mughal came and they ruled India, yes? Yes. And after that, now who's ruling India? So can that be impossible? No. It's possible, why not? So Rasulullah is saying that again the Rome will conquer Constantinople and they will again come back to kill the Muslims in Medina. They will head towards Medina to fight the Muslims. And then there will be 3 wars between them. The first will run away. First Muslim troop will run away. The second troop will die. And they will be the best martyrs. And the third troop will win. And this is the time Isa a.s. will come. Because Muslims will be getting ready for the next fight. At that time somebody will say Dajjal has appeared. Dajjal has appeared. So Muslims will go and try to see him and face him. At that time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will send Isa alayhi salatu salam. this hadith is not only in Bukhari, not in Muslim, not in Tirmidhi, not in Nisai ibn Majah, Sunan ibn Majah or Sunan Nasai. No, you can say I have a quotation from 17 other books, and they all are authentic hadith. If somebody has got problem with one narrator, two narrators, all of them cannot make mistake like that. Okay, if Imam Bukhari has narrated someone, in his narration someone has got a problem, then what about Imam Muslim? If Imam Muslim has got different chain, then again it is two different chains. Yes? Yes or no?
Yes.
So, and all are authentic. So if somebody has got any issue with the chain of narrators, we can prove. So Isa alayhi salam, why would he come?
To kill the job.
To stop the fight, yes or no?
Yeah.
And look what he says. After the death of Isa alayhi salam, what will be his role? I have brought that hadith as well. Somebody questioned, one of the sheikhs, that what is he going to do? Now look what he's going to do. Rasulullah has said, وَالَّذِي نَفْسِ بِيَدِهِ لَا يُوشِكَنَّ أَن يَنزِلَ فِيكُمْ ابْنُ مَرْيَمَ. Please pay attention. حَكَمًا عَدْلًا فَيَكْسِرَ الصَّلِيبَ وَيَقْتُلَ الْخِنْزِيرَ وَيَدْعَ الْجِزْيَةَ وَيَفِيضَ الْمَالُ حَتَّى لَا يَقْبَلَهُ أحد حتى تكون السجدة الواحدة خيرا من الدنيا وما فيها ثم يقول أبو هريرة إن شئتم. This is the ayah. Now what he says? He says that Isa alayhi salam will come as a hakam, as a ruler, leader. So when a person is coming for the war, we have to have a leader today. Yes or no? Yes. Suppose if I want to lead the army, I have to be a leader. So that's the reason that Allah will send him as a leader to lead the army. And in the army, is he going to kill all the normal Christians?
No.
Is he going to kill all the normal Jew? No. He says that the Romans will be, first they will try to attack the Muslims. So he will come and fight them. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Who says this? Not me. These are from the hadith. So why we are saying that now this is haram, this is haram, this is haram. When somebody takes one hadith and he says that Isa will come and kill all the Jews. Doesn't make sense. Isa will not come and kill the Jews. Isa will come and fight the army who is fighting Muslims. And that's a common thing. Every leader during his time, today if the people are fighting with each other, two countries are fighting, they have the right for the freedom, yes or no? If somebody is attacking, the other will defend. The somebody is defending, other will attack. So this is what it mentioned in the hadith, that Isa is not a man with heart, no heart in his body. No, he will not be merciless. He will not unnecessarily kill the swine. He will kill the swine because these people who are, killing Muslims, they will also promote and force them to kill and eat swine. At that time, Isa alayhi salam will come, and then he says that he will force them to come to Islam. There is no hadith that says he will force them to kill, make people Islam, come to Islam, and then those who will not come to Islam, he will kill. The meaning of those hadith, pay attention to this. The meaning of that hadith is that the war will be between Muslims and non-Muslims. And definitely who will win? Isa alayhi salam. And if Isa alayhi salam wins, which religion will prevail? Islam. That does not mean that Isa alayhi salam is forcing Islam upon others. It's the non-Muslims, they are against Islam, and he is promoting Islam. And if they both fight, so if Isa dies, then which will prevail? The kufr, yes? But if Isa wins, then which will prevail? Islam. Does that make him harsh-lashed person? Does that make that he is forcing Islam to the people? No, the kuffar are already dead. So what's the religion left? Nothing. No religion will be left. It will be only Islam. And in Islam, are we allowed to cheat each other with the wealth? No. We have to do justice even with the transaction. Yes or no? And this is what the hadith says, that when he will come, it will be adl. It will be all just spread all over the world. No people will be, harming anybody. No people will be cheating anybody. No people will be forcing anything anybody. Everybody will be in love and peace and harmony. Is that wrong? If a leader wins and he is promoting the peace, the religion of God, and if he brings the peace between the people, and he brings the love between the people, and he brings the harmony between the people, does that mean that he is forcing them? If you are correcting your children, that means you are a heartless person. You are wishing your children to be good. You are teaching them good manners. Does that mean that you are forcing because you don't have heart? You have no respect for your children? This is what Jesus will do. When He will come, He will bring love between people. He will promote love, harmony, peace between the people. And no person will be cheating each other. Okay, then they say, this we don't agree because this can never happen. And they are saying that everybody will become Muslim, then what's the point of Qiyamah then? No, there are ahadith to answer them. Because if you can't read the hadith, then it's a problem. If you can't read, then please come to me in my madrasa, I will read to you. And we can go word by word for every hadith. Look what it says. That Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, during the time of Isa alayhi salam, when Dajjal will die, he will kill Dajjal, after that he will live for 40 years on the face of the earth. He will live, he will promote peace and everything, and also the animals will be in peace. Now the people are saying, oh, animals will become, herbivorous and carnivorous will change. No lion will kill the goat and they will eat. No, it doesn't say that. It only shows that every animal, whether it is a vegetarian animal or a wild animal, they will have enough food to eat for their own free. So why they would, kill others? Are you with me? Yes. The lion is going to attack the goat or the deer, or where the deer is, coming to drink water on the pond, and the lion is attacking. Why lion would attack? If lion is hungry. No, if lion is hungry, will attack. But if the lion is, he has got enough food to eat, why would the lion eat? This is the understanding. But this hadith, it doesn't go into their heads. They say, how can be animals, the wild animal and the vegetarian animals can become friends? And how the children can play with the snakes. Why not? I was playing with the snake. I was playing with the snake when I was 12 years old. My mom used to slap me, I used to hide the small snake in my pocket. And I would do like this and I would say, ah! So what's the problem with that? And then if the children will play with the snake at that. I was playing with the snake. And my children have seen me in Dubai. I went to the zoo, the Jumeirah Zoo. And I went into the cage where the lion is tied. Wallahi, I'm swearing upon Allah. They have seen my pictures. I'm with the lion and I'm putting my head next to his mouth. So if this has happened, I know the lion can attack me, but alhamdulillah, Allah protected me. But if I can do at this stage, why can't the children can play with the snakes at the time of Isa alayhi salam? Is it something impossible? No. So the reason for refuting this is not possible. Another hadith in Sunan Abu Dawud and all the other books, that Isa alayhi salam, after killing Dajjal, then he will stay on the face of the earth for 40 years, and then Gog and Magog will come. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will tell Isa alayhi salam, now you go up with the people and don't fight them, because they will not be able to, you will not be able to fight them, because they are like, one member with 1,000 family members with them. And they will destroy. So this is not my subject, because we can talk about Gog and Magog and Dajjal, how they will come. But this hadith are proven that Isa alayhi salam will come, he will fight the Dajjal, he will kill Dajjal, and then he will bring the justice on the face of the earth. And then after that, the Gog and Magog will come, and they will again, after sometimes Allah will give them death, they will die. Then Prophet Isa will come down on the face of the earth again, and then Allah will bring rain and all those kind of dirty things, that the dead bodies of the Gog and Magog will be there, they will be all clean. And then Isa alayhi salam, after sometimes Allah will give them death to all the Muslims. These are all from the hadith I'm telling you. If somebody wants to challenge me for the hadith, I can talk to them word by word, inshallah. So, but because of the time, I'm just summing up the whole subject. So Isa alayhi salam will come back, and again after sometimes all the Muslims will die. People will pray janazah for Isa alayhi salam, and Listen. Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has said that his grave will be next to my grave in Medina. His grave will be next to my grave in Medina. And you can ask anybody today, they have a space. They are not telling us like that because it will become fitna for the people. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will protect the earth where the Prophet is buried now. That earth is protected because Isa alayhi salam will come, and after his death he will be buried next to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And then Allah says, and the hadith says, that there will nobody will be left as a believer, and then Allah will bring Qiyamah on them. Alhamdulillah. Wa akhir da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. There are many things I can say, but alhamdulillah, if somebody doesn't accept it, then it's his problem. Beta, please come and read the questions now.
Yeah.
Projector beta, inshallah.
Can you turn the projector? The food is going to be laid out now, but we've got 4 questions. We'll answer these ones, and then the rest will come after food, inshallah, because I know people are hungry, inshallah. So the first one is, when Allah took Isa alayhi salam to himself, was it the same day when somebody else was killed instead of Isa alayhi salam? So you answered that question in the speech.
Yeah, I have already answered that question, because it's not only from our scholars, it is also from the Bible. It confirms that the day when he went to his disciples, spoke to them, and finally he told them that this is what is going to happen to me. The same thing is mentioned in the hadith, the tafsir by Abdullah ibn Abbas, very authentic hadith, that he went to his disciples and he told them that who is going to die instead of me today on the cross, and I guarantee you that you will meet me on the day of judgment in the Jannah. So one of the disciples who had the very, like you can say, 90% resembling of Isa alayhi salam, he said, I will do that. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala raised Isa alayhi salam high, and immediately the pilot, the soldier, and the leader of the soldier, he came to that room, and he took this person who was looking like Isa alayhi salam, and then he was, killed and crucified.
Okay.
The same day.
The second question is, how would people differentiate between Isa alayhi salam and imposters?
Imposters?
So someone who's pretending to be Isa alayhi salam. How would you differentiate?
Please don't put me in that trouble, This is because it is our scholars, Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah, they have declared that this was the technique of the Qadianis. They used to do that. And they used to claim that they are, Nabi and Rasul, and alhamdulillah. And some of the people are saying that this is, this Salafi mission of Quran and Hadith and coming back of Isa alayhi salam. They actually gave the birth to the Qadianis, because Qadiani would not have this kind of evidences. When the Al-Hadith are saying that the Isa will come, so they said that I'm Isa and I have come. So they actually, Al-Hadith has gave them the birth, given them the birth to the Qadianis. So actually, in fact, the Hadith in Sahih Bukhari, Hadith in Sahih Muslim, and different books of Hadith, it says that after the death of Rasulullah, after he has gone, before the Qiyamah, there will be 30 Dajjal will be born. Not the main Dajjal, but 30 Dajjal will be born who will claim to be prophets and messengers. And Rasulullah has said, there is no prophet and Nabi and messenger after me. La Nabiya Ba'di. Yes.
Is that what the Dajjal? Will they have the Muslims?
Huh?
The Dajjal.
Yeah.
It will be like from the Muslim country or any.
Dajjal is mentioned in different ahadith. The Dajjal will be from Khorasan. From Khorasan, and he will be having 70,000 followers from the Jewish family. Yeah. And people, they say he is not a human being, he's like a story. No, he's a proper human being, born through parents, mother and father, and he will be like a human being walking on the face of the earth, and then he will be killed by Isa alayhi salam.
Question was the 30 Dajjals.
30 Dajjal.
Will they be human as well? Or?
Yeah, they will all be humans, and they will say, like, I sometimes joke, okay, but I'm not Dajjal. I joke with my family. My daughter's name is Fatima. Okay, my daughter's name is Fatima. And I say, Fatima bint Rasul. Means Fatima is the daughter of Rasul. So who became Rasul now? Because Fatima is my daughter. So I just joke on the number. It is kufr. It is kufr to say that you are Rasul. It is kufr to say you are Nabi. Because there is no Rasul after Rasul sallallahu and there is no Nabi after Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Last question, Sheikh. It says, does the wall of Ya'juj and Ma'juj still exist? If so, so that's Gog and Magog. If so, are there scientific proofs that through satellites, because through satellites there is no such wall?
There is now my question to this person that how much did the satellite has conquered the earth? Can any satellite today confirm the depth of the ocean?
No, still not exist.
No.
Still not exist.
The satellite cannot even define what is that Bermuda Triangle. Idiots, you're talking to me about the satellite? Satellite is nothing, rubbish. Satellite can't find the people who disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle. Come on, first get me the answer. Where did they go? If your satellite can prove me where did they go, where did they disappear, then I can say, okay, let's talk about the wall of Gog and Magog. Sahi hai na? How many wild animals are there in the sea? How many, what is the depth and how many wells are there? What different types of wells are there? How many people have really went into the depth of the sea to know the proper height? Well, if that is the thing, why can't the satellite, give us the information of tsunami before it came? Why can't the satellite stop the tsunami? And when you see what happened with the tsunami, the whole country, Japan is supposed to be the big, very, very highly technological country, and when the tsunami came, nothing left. Now after some time when the water will go down, another thing will come up and they will say this is Japan. We know this is Japan, so don't worry. If you wait for another tsunami, you will get the building, the wall will come up. Yes, inshallah. ठीक है बेटा? क्या यार, दो जिला के बंद कर रहे.
That's what I say. Sheikh is getting, his mouth is going to get dry, inshallah, so we need to feed him. What we'll do after the food is we'll pray Isha, and then after Isha, if you want to ask questions, because I know this time the sisters didn't get a chance to ask questions. If you want to ask questions, then we'll give you a chance to ask questions after Isha Salah immediately, and then we'll wrap up.
At least, yeah. At least one question.
The sisters are busy eating now, they don't want to ask questions.
Okay, Ibrahim, Facebook बंद कर दो वरना public बोले कि मौलवी क्या खा रहा है देखो.